Leos, it's Scully Sati. Thank you so much for joining me for the mid-monthly May readings, May 16th through the 31st, 2019. I hope the first half of May was enjoyable for you guys and enlightening. And I just want to reiterate, as always, that not all messages are going to resonate with everybody. But if you don't get something out of this, don't worry about it. Come back for the weeklies. Come back next time. There will be something that resonates with you, okay? And, you know, definitely take what you can from this, but don't make things fit that don't, okay? All right, guys, so let's see what's going on for the lovely Leos for the second half of May. And let's see what's going on. All right. So for you guys, I'm actually using my lovely Paulina deck. Yeah, one of my favorites, one of my oldest. Wow, guys, I'm seeing some pretty powerful cards here. I'm picking up on some of these Leos. You guys have found some sort of wish fulfillment here, right, with the Nine of Cups. Or you will soon be. It's like, or you're putting your joy first, your wishes first, right? Not in a selfish way, but more in a way of like, I deserve. But see here with the Four of Pentacles, this is saying that there's something here that you may be holding on a little too tight to, okay? And I feel like that's preventing you from being able to move forward completely with the Six of Swords, okay? Yeah, I feel like you guys are at this point where you want to make magic happen, right? Like you want to lead your magical existence, right? And you're starting to understand that in order to do that, you're going to have to take some action. You're going to have to make some decisions, right? And I feel like what this has to do with, for some of you guys, is possibly leaving a marriage or in a relationship that is with somebody that will affect your finances, you know, greatly if you leave them. Okay, and I feel like that is what you're holding on to with that Four of Swords that the Four of Pentacles that we picked up earlier. Remember, like holding on too tight, and you see she's actually holding on to a pentacle there, which is money. So I'm feeling like you guys have been really starting to think about, you know, do I want to stay in this relationship or do I want to go someplace else? It may not even be for another person at this point. This could just be about your own personal wish fulfillment with that Nine of Cups card. And you're starting to wonder, like, I know I need to make a decision, but am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay if I leave this situation? Because it is, you know, going to affect... It's going to affect my situation here. And then with the Five of Wands, you could be very well afraid that if you do leave this person, this marriage, or this relationship, that there's going to be fighting involved. That this person's going to play dirty. Let's look a little bit closer into that. Yeah, see, I feel like... Here's my Knight of Swords card. And if you guys have watched me at all, you know that the Knight of Swords is like my asshole ex card. Like 99.9% of the time, guys, I'm telling you. And look at his face. Look at him. Try to be slick. Try to be deceitful. I see through you, Knight of Swords. So I'm feeling like, you know, this showing up, this might be either that this person has shown themselves to be, you know, very hard to live with, very moody, very, very moody. You know, sometimes I, you know, say like, kind of like has features of a bipolar type personality disorder. Really somebody that comes in aggressively, you know what I mean? Very manipulative, things of that nature. So this is maybe who you've been living with for a long time, which has gotten you to start thinking about leaving this person, okay? And I feel like when you tell this person that you're thinking about leaving, they're going to try to come in to try to make you stay. They're going to try to tell you that they can, you know, things can change or that you're overreacting, things of that nature, lots of messages. But I feel like at heart, you're going to know what the real answer is for you. I feel like this is something that the ones that I'm tapping into, you guys have been thinking about this for years. You know what I mean? I think really strongly in the past year. Okay. And you just haven't really been happy. You've been, you know, kind of muddling through your day. I feel like the ones I'm tapping into, you don't really find a lot of comfort being home because this person is there, okay? And I feel like, you know, you want to be comfortable again. You want to be this Queen of Cups energy, which is all about, you know, feeling very good emotionally, feeling like, you know, very content, you know, with how things are. And I'm just tapping into that there are some of you guys that are just not feeling that. And that's why you got the Six of Swords card earlier, because this is sometimes about actual moving, okay? But it's about forward progress, moving. Sometimes it's about traveling, but, you know, fitting in with what we're talking about, I feel like this has to do with like you thinking about living on your own. You thinking about moving out of your current situation. So yeah, and this person's definitely going to be keeping an eye on you with the Page of Swords. So, you know, and this goes so much with that Knight of Swords energy as well. You know, this person that you're trying to leave is not really somebody that's going to want to let you go easily. Okay, guys. So, yeah, you're picking up on them being, you know, they're going to be pissy. They're going to be salty as hell about it if you want to leave them. And so they are going to be watching you. They're going to see, you know, how they can weasel their way back in, what they can use against you, right? And that's exactly it. Like, you want to lead a life that's very balanced, right? With the Temperance card. You want to have something that feels like you don't have to fight for your existence, you know? And I feel like the ones that I'm tapping into, I get such a choked up feeling. Like, it feels very restrictive. It feels very much like, you know, you haven't thought about, you know, your happiness in quite some time, because to think about that would be, you know, kind of like, you know, this person would deem it disrespectful, you know? This might be somebody that's like, we are one unit, you know what I mean? Like, really enmeshed. We are one unit, you know, what I decide is what it is. And I just feel like for the Leos that I'm tapping into, that's become very, very, you know, just restrictive again for you guys. And I feel like that's what's been making you really strongly think for about the past year that, you know, maybe this isn't the situation that you want to see yourself becoming an old person in, you know what I mean? One of those, you know, those miserable, poor little elderly couples that you see that aren't talking when, you know, they're at dinner, or they're just, when they do talk, it's snipping at each other. I feel like you guys have already tapped into a little bit of that with this person. And you're like, I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's also very scary, because that means that you have to leave the comfort of where you're at, you know, financially is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like the financial problem is like the only issue that I see could really, you know, be a negative factor in terms of how, you know, this decision to leave would affect you. Okay. Because I feel like, you know, once you got yourself into an environment that would be very calm and very, feeling very relaxed and, you know, balanced, you know, not chaotic, not uncomfortable, like you have to walk around on eggshells that you have to around this person that I'm tapping into, I feel like everything else is going to follow for you. Because I'm a very strong believer in the home environment. So if your home environment is riddled with, you know, a lot of tension, a lot of silence, that uncomfortable, awkward silence, a lot of underlying resentment, that you're probably not getting really good sleep, right? You're probably not really getting good sleep there because you're not feeling good. So then you're going out in the world, you're doing your job, you're hanging out with people, and you're just a little bit not completely there. You know what I mean? And so I'm feeling like this is a big decision for you guys for this last couple of weeks of May. And what I've done in this situation before is I do a pros and cons list. You know what I mean? I talk about, you know, the types of things that I want in my life, the types of things that I want in a partner. And then I match it up with what's going on in my current life. And then I start to decide, like, how can I make these things come to fruition for myself, right? And I feel that a lot of you are going to find that this means that you're going to have to end this relationship. You're going to have to think about leaving. Right? Even though that may be scary for you financially, you have to really figure out, you know, do you trust yourself enough to know that you're a survivor, right? You will survive. You know, you will be able to come through this. You're not going to go out there and be homeless. You know, you're not going to make a preemptive decision that's going to be bad for you. You know, you're going to make sure that you plan well so that you can go forward with this decision, which is a really heavy decision. But I feel like the ones I'm tapping into, you guys have been thinking about this for a long time. You've just been waiting for something to push you out. And I feel like whoever you're with is very complacent with the situation. So they're not going to be the ones to leave, right? They're getting what they want. They're fine. they're content in the discontent, but I feel like, who I'm tapping into for these Leos, you guys are like, I can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm suffocating, right? I feel like I don't know what joy is. I get little glimpses of it when I'm away from this Knight of Swords dude, but it's not enough. It's not enough to last me. So I feel like this is going to be a really big decision for you guys. And I feel like the last couple of weeks of May is going to be you guys really starting to figure out how you're going to make this happen. Because I feel like a lot of you have already internally decided it. And the thing that you guys may be debating on at this point is like, how can I make this happen, right? For others, I feel like, the decision here, what you're torn between is like, do I stay in my discontentment or do I take a chance and move forward, right? Alone. If money is the only thing holding you to this, it's keeping you from a happy home. And I feel like that's really what's going to really start driving you guys, is you want some kind of a commitment to yourself in this case, where it's like you're feeling good about your life. You're happy to wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? You feel rested again. You feel healthy again, right? Wow, Leos. Okay, so this next couple of weeks for you guys, it's going to be big decision time. Just make sure you do your pros and cons list. Start looking at different, options of where you would go if you were to move out. How can you, start thinking about how you would divide up finances. What could you afford based on what you have now? Does that mean you would need to get a second job or a job that pays more, right? All these very basic money things that will help quell the fear that you're not going to be able to survive without this person, who really makes you pretty miserable, guys, So I feel like it's time for you guys to make that decision and start coming up with your game plan about how you're going to make that leap. Okay. All right, my beautiful Leos, good luck with that. If you want me to look into your situation a little bit deeper, please feel free to contact me at the email address below. Otherwise, come back to me for the weeklies, and then I'll be back in a couple of weeks to do the beginning of June already. Oh my God. Yeah, so I wish you guys a lot of luck and a lot of love and a lot of clarity, and I will definitely be back with you guys very soon. Thanks, Leos. Bye.